Money blocks keep showing up. Archangel Michael revealed this energetic reason you're not manifesting, and how to clear it instantly. This is not just another message about money. This is not just another teaching about manifestation. This is a divine interruption, a moment carved out of eternity for those who have been crying out in silence, fighting battles no one sees, and wondering why the flow has stopped. Hear this clearly: the block is not accidental. The delay is not natural. The struggle is not coincidental. The money blocks that keep showing up in your life are deeply spiritual. They are energetic, ancestral, and strategically timed by forces that oppose your rise. This message is not for the masses. This is for the awakened. This is for the ones who have sensed a strange resistance every time abundance is within reach. You've tithed. You've sown seed. You've spoken affirmations. You've fasted. And yet it keeps happening. The breakthrough comes close, then crumbles. The deal is promised, then disappears. The job opens, then closes again. The money arrives, only to vanish through emergencies, unexpected expenses, or the hands of those who dishonor you. There is a spiritual interruption in the flow, and the one who has come to reveal it is not a mere angel but Archangel Michael himself, heaven's defender, the one who wars for the chosen, the one who guards what God has released. He is appearing now in the spirit, robed in light, armor gleaming like fire forged in the heavenly realm. His sword is drawn, not to fight your enemies but to reveal them. He speaks not through thunder but through divine insight. And his message is this: your flow is blocked not because of your faith, but because of an energetic entanglement, a spiritual resistance designed to make you question what God already said was yours. This is a sacred call to stillness, a holy invitation to pause and listen. For only in silence can you hear what has been whispering against your wealth. Only in divine surrender can you receive the instruction that clears the path. The financial drought you've been facing isn't due to bad budgeting or lack of effort. It is the manifestation of a war in the invisible, a sabotage sent to keep you questioning your worth and doubting your divine supply. But the time of confusion is ending. Heaven is not silent about your situation. And now, revelation is being released. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Listen now, chosen one. For in the next 24 hours, signs will begin to confirm what your spirit already suspects. There has been a supernatural resistance standing between you and the wealth ordained for your hands. Do not dismiss what stirs in your spirit as coincidence. This is your confirmation. This is your moment. This is a divine interruption. The veil is being pulled back. And now I, Archangel Michael, stand in radiant fire, armored in divine light, not only to defend, but to disclose, to reveal, to unveil what has been concealed behind delays, missed opportunities, financial disappointment, and cycles of just enough. I have not come to speak softly. I have come to declare war on what has been warring against you, silently, spiritually, and persistently. And I tell you now, what you could not see before, you will now begin to understand. There has been an invisible rope around your increase, and you have felt it. Every time you try to step forward financially, something snatches you back. It wasn't your lack of strategy. It wasn't poor decisions. It was something in the spirit realm, ancient and familiar, triggered by the light you carry. This is not punishment. It is proof of your calling. You are not here by mistake. You are not listening by accident. Heaven has summoned you to this divine moment because your wealth is a weapon, and your breakthrough is a threat to darkness. You are not manifesting because what you are called to manifest must first be protected. I declare this to you. Not everyone is ready for this message. Not everyone can handle the truth. But you are not everyone. You are chosen. You are called. And you are marked for divine recovery. Hear this. The block is not just financial. It is energetic. It is ancestral. It is spoken and unspoken. It is emotional, environmental, and spiritual. It is layered. And until now, it has remained hidden. But what has been unseen will now be uncovered for those who have ears to hear and hearts willing to receive. Still your soul now. Let the noise of doubt be silenced. Let the worry fall. Let the frustration cease. For in this moment, heaven is preparing to open your eyes to something deeper than dollars and cents. You are about to perceive the realm that governs manifestation and the warfare that surrounds it. The wealth of the righteous is under attack, not because it isn't real, but because it is too real for the enemy to ignore. I have been sent not only to protect, but to reveal the strategy of victory. I am the one who stood with Daniel when he waited for answers. I am the one who wars when you wait. I am the one who severs soul ties, cancels the curses of envy's sighs, and stands at the gates of your destiny, flaming sword drawn, ensuring that nothing unauthorized enters your promise. You have asked, why is it so hard to prosper when I'm aligned with God? Why do money blocks keep appearing when I'm walking in righteousness? The answer is both painful and powerful, because your wealth is prophetic. What you carry cannot be casually released. It must be spiritually stewarded. And now, in this holy moment, your eyes are opening. Your discernment is sharpening. The war is not over, but the confusion ends now. And clarity is coming with divine force. You are not blocked because you are failing. You are blocked because you are rising. And the enemy fears what happens when you realize just how powerful you truly are. Type I receive divine clarity in the comments if this resonates. Blessing code 777 is breaking through the veil. And now, listen carefully, for what I reveal next is not comfortable, but it is necessary. The reason money blocks keep showing up, the reason the abundance keeps slipping through your fingers, the reason you've tried everything, prayed, fasted, tithed, affirmed, and yet the flow stops before it can settle, is because something else has been speaking over your wealth. Yes, child of light, something else. It's not just what you say, it's what was said about you. It's not just what you release, it's what hath been silently planted around you. There are words, not your own, that have wrapped around your finances like invisible weeds, choking the harvest before it can rise. Words that were spoken in jealousy, thoughts sent in silence, glances of envy that form spiritual resistance. Someone smiled at you in person, but behind closed doors, their heart whispered, "She doesn't deserve that." Someone clapped for your victory, but inside, they cursed your rise. And you wonder why it feels like something is pulling you backward every time you start to move forward. It is not your imagination. It is not a lack of effort. It is energetic sabotage. This is the mystery that most never discern. What you feel in the physical is often the result of spiritual interference. That strange delay, that missed opportunity, that contract that almost went through but suddenly vanished, that unexpected bill the moment you started saving again. That is not coincidence. That is collision. A collision between your divine momentum and someone else's unspoken resistance. There are soul ties still echoing in your field, relationships from the past that haven't been fully cut, agreements made in moments of desperation. I'll never be rich. I guess this is just my life. I don't deserve more. Those words didn't just vanish. They lingered. They created energetic scaffolding, spiritual architecture that continues to build walls around your increase. And now, the heavens are confronting it. But child, the most dangerous blocks are not the ones others cast. It's the ones you unknowingly accepted. Every time you agreed with lack, every time you compared yourself to others and shrank, every time you made yourself small to make others comfortable, you gave permission to the very thing trying to delay you. Every self-doubt, every maybe it's not for me, every what if I fail. Those were keys, and the enemy used them to lock doors heaven had already opened. You see, manifestation does not only require belief, it requires the cleansing of the field. You cannot plant in soil that's been poisoned with past pain. You cannot water seeds when your hands are still tied by fear. This is what I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to show you. The problem is not your prayer, it's the pollution surrounding your promise. You are carrying wealth codes, destiny downloads, financial deliverance, but they've been trapped under emotional debris. And the enemy knows this. That's why every time you get close to overflow, a crisis arises. An old trauma resurfaces. A distraction appears. Suddenly, the energy you were using to manifest is now being used to survive. But this stops now. No more bleeding energy. No more draining interactions. No more cycles that steal your attention right when it's time to receive. You must understand, you are not failing. You are being fought. And it is time to fight back. Not with worry, not with fear, not with frantic movement, but with divine awareness. With intentional silence. With holy fire. With words wrapped in power and protection. This is your awakening moment. Type "I cancel every curse" in the comments if this word pierced your soul. Blessing code 6655 is burning through hidden sabotage. You've just seen the veil pulled back, and if this word pierced you, it means you are part of the remnant, the few chosen to carry divine wealth with sacred purpose. This message isn't entertainment, it's deliverance. If you felt the Spirit move, consider sowing into the soil that is revealing truth, exposing sabotage, and awakening destinies. The work we do here is not just content, it's spiritual combat. And every time you give, you help light break into places still in darkness. As it is written, He gives seed to the sower, and this may be the moment your seed collides with a miracle. If your spirit is stirred to support this mission, you can do so through Super Thanks, channel membership, or directly through our PayPal link in the video description. Your obedience unlocks overflow. Your giving activates covering. Your seed becomes prophecy. Now sow with intention, and watch what heaven does. Go now. Be a part of this prophetic move. Let it be known now, your financial battle is not a mistake. It is not random. is not the result of poor decisions or simply unfortunate timing. What you are facing is warfare, and the battleground is not your bank account. It is your identity. This is not about dollars and cents. This is about your divine inheritance. This is about your spiritual authority in the realm of abundance. And because you are chosen, because you are anointed, because you are carrying wealth tied to purpose, there is resistance. Heavy resistance. You were marked long ago. Before you were even aware of the assignments on your life, the enemy saw your light, and the war began. Not because of what you have done, but because of who you are becoming. You see, the enemy fears those who know their financial identity in the kingdom. He does not attack the lazy. He does not waste resources on the ones who have no power. He goes after those whose hands are destined to build, fund, restore, rescue, and release. He targets those who have been called to redistribute wealth with righteousness. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are powerful. And now the Spirit of truth is confronting the lie that has kept you bound. Maybe I'm not meant to be wealthy. Oh, that is a distortion. That is a wound speaking, not your spirit. The truth is, your wealth was assigned to your bloodline, woven into your purpose, written into your scroll before time began. And this is why the conflict had been fierce. This is why every time you try to rise financially, something pushes back. Because this is spiritual resistance, and it has one mission: to keep you distracted, defeated, and doubtful. But I declare now, the resistance is being exposed, and the divine perspective is being restored. You are not a victim of financial misfortune. You are a target of divine warfare. Heaven has been watching. Every sacrifice, every time you gave what it hurt, every time you praised through pain, every time you stayed faithful while things were falling apart. You think those moments went unseen. No, they were recorded. And now, those moments are your weapons. Your patience has been warfare. Your consistency has been intercession. Your refusal to give up has been your declaration. The angels have seen your war cries and your whispers. And now I, Archangel Michael, come to remind you, the kingdom has not forgotten you. You are being positioned for restoration, not by works alone, but by identity. Your name is not lack. Your name is not survivor. Your name is restorer of broken paths. Your wealth is not just for you. It is meant to repair breaches, to lift generations, to shatter cycles of poverty that have run too long in your lineage. And that is why the enemy launched this level of financial warfare against you, not because of your past, but because of your future. And now you must reframe everything. This isn't a punishment, it's proof. This isn't about scarcity, it's about strategy. You are being refined in fire so that when you rise in abundance, you will not be shaken. You are being taught how to hold the blessing, how to guard the flow, how to recognize warfare before it even forms. Because your next level will require discernment. And now, heaven is training your spirit to see money not as survival, but as assignment. You are no longer in the realm of trying to make ends meet. You are stepping into the realm of divine multiplication. But it starts with this revelation. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't valuable. And your wealth has always been valuable. So rise. Wipe the shame from your face. Release the lie from your lips. The battle has been spiritual, but the breakthrough is now. Type "I am divinely positioned" in the comments. Blessing code 7744 is aligning your identity with heaven's economy. Hear this now. The battle is not over, but the atmosphere is shifting. And as the resistance begins to lose its grip, the enemy will attempt one final strategy: distraction, disruption, and frustration. Within the next 7 days, you may face a test. It will not look like a war. It will not come with horns or smoke. It will come quietly, through people, situations, conversations, and demands designed to drain your time, steal your focus, and provoke your spirit. This is not a coincidence. This is calculated interference. You must understand, the moment your spiritual eyes begin to open, the enemy scrambles to close them again. The moment heaven begins to release wealth codes, demonic strategies try to clog the channel. So prepare your heart. Be watchful. You will recognize the test because it will come at the moment of alignment. Just when peace begins to settle. Just when new ideas start flowing. Just when connections seem to open, chaos will attempt to creep in. Suddenly, someone will push your boundaries. An old voice from your past may reappear. An unexpected expense may rise. A small problem will try to take your emotional energy. This is not about what's happening on the surface. It is about what's happening behind the scenes. There are conversations being had in dark corners, energies being stirred in secret places, plans being whispered behind your back. But I tell you now, you are shielded. Yes, there are things being plotted behind closed doors. But you will not be caught off guard. You will not be overtaken. You are not walking into a trap, because heaven is already ahead of it. While others scheme, the angelic realm has already fortified your borders. I, Archangel Michael, have stationed warriors around your spiritual gates. No weapon formed shall prosper. But you must remain alert. This test is not about breaking you. It's about exposing what no longer belongs in your next level. You are transitioning into a new financial frequency, and anything attached to fear, chaos, where smallness cannot follow. So watch how people show up in the coming days. Pay attention to who drains you. Listen to the tone behind their words. Don't be surprised if someone who once supported you suddenly begins to withdraw. Don't be shaken if an offer suddenly collapses. This is divine preservation, not punishment. Sometimes God allows things to fall apart to prevent you from building with the wrong bricks. You are being elevated, and elevation always demands separation. This pressure you are sensing is not destruction. It is preparation. You are being expanded. And before the blessing fully manifests, the residue of doubt, fear, and old agreements must be burned away. Do not panic. This is not the time to beg for doors to stay open. It is not the season to chase people who can't recognize your light. Do not fight for what heaven is trying to release you from. This is the test, and if you respond with peace, silence, and stillness, you will pass through this next phase untouched. Do not underestimate the enemy's final push. He knows what's coming for you. He senses the shift. He feels the anointing on your hands. And he's desperate. But desperation cannot compete with destiny. You are surrounded by fire. You are cloaked in divine armor. and you are protected not just by faith but by assignment. So stand tall. Watch with discernment. Move with wisdom. The plot will form, but it will fail. The test will come, but you will pass. Because you are not just manifesting money. You are manifesting heaven's will. Type "I am untouchable" in the comments if this word spoke to your spirit. Blessing code 8888 is surrounding you with divine fire. Now is the moment to be still. Not idle, but divinely still. The storm may rise. The voices may shout. The distractions may intensify. But silence is your weapon. Stillness is your shield. And obedience is your sword. The heavens are not asking you to fight. They are instructing you to stand. This is the strategy of the anointed. This is how we war in the Spirit. When the battlefield grows loud, the righteous grow silent. Do not argue. Do not chase. Do not panic. For panic is the language of fear, and you are no longer a servant of fear. You have crossed into the territory of faith, and faith does not beg. Faith does not beg for understanding, nor does it plead for people to stay who are meant to leave. Faith watches. Faith waits. Faith protects its energy. And right now, the divine is calling you into a sacred withdrawal. Not isolation out of pain, but separation for protection. There are energies being stirred to bait you back into old patterns. Arguments that lead nowhere, misunderstandings that spark unnecessary emotional fire, situations that only distract you from your focus. Do not fall for the bait. Do not respond to the noise. When people come with confusion, do not explain yourself. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to preserve your peace. And peace is not passive, it is prophetic. Peace says, I trust the heavens to speak for me. You must protect your energy like treasure now. Your manifestation is near, and the enemy knows he cannot steal what's yours. But he can try to make you sabotage it with your own words, with your own reactions, with your own exhaustion. But I, Archangel Michael, have come to say, no more. You will no longer forfeit your blessings through emotional burnout. You will no longer leak power trying to defend your name. Let silence speak. Let God move. Let the angels war on your behalf. You are not alone in this. I am stationed beside you, flaming sword drawn, guarding the gates of your provision. The energy trying to confront you will not pass through. The mouth speaking against you will be silence. The confusion forming around you will break before it touches your spirit. Your job is to withdraw into the secret place, the place of divine instruction. Pray without panic. Observe without absorbing. Move without rushing. Speak only when instructed. Heaven is pouring clarity, but only the still ones will hear it. Only the quiet ones will catch it. You cannot hear divine direction in a storm of opinions. You cannot receive new blueprints while entangled in old chaos. So step back, child of light. Not because you are weak, but because you are wise. Your silence is not retreat. It is strategy. When you say nothing, heaven says everything. When you rest, angels move. When you close the door to noise, you open the gate to revelation. This is the divine paradox. Victory does not always look like volume. Sometimes it looks like peace so strong, even the enemy doesn't know what to do with it. Now, repeat this aloud in your space. I do not chase. I do not beg. I do not force. I am aligned with heaven's flow. What belongs to me is protected. What is mine comes with peace. This is not about passivity. This is about power under control. Let those with spiritual ears hear this clearly. Silence is not surrender. Silence is sacred strategy. And it is through this stillness that your next instruction will come. Listen for it. Watch for it. Move only when heaven moves. Type "I choose divine stillness" in the comments if your spirit receives this instruction. Blessing code 9900 is anchoring you in unshakable peace. Now hear this and let it enter deep into your soul. You are not financially cursed. You are spiritually refined. What you have called lack, heaven has called refinement. What you saw as struggle, the angels saw as sharpening. What you mistook for rejection was actually redirection into your highest alignment. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are rising, and not quietly, not gently, but with the full authority of heaven behind you. Your energy is no longer what it once was. You may look the same on the outside, but your inner world has been set ablaze. You've been tempered like steel and fire. You've walked through nights of scarcity, confusion, and delay, and you did not collapse. You bent, but you did not break. You wept, but you did not give up. You questioned, but you did not surrender your call. And that is why this message found you. That is why heaven chose to speak now. The truth is, your manifestation wasn't delayed to punish you. It was delayed because your frequency had to rise. You had to come into agreement not just with money, but with divine identity. You had to shake off the residue of small thinking, survival patterns, and generational fear. You had to be rewired, rebuilt, refined. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were always meant to carry more. And now, you are no longer who you were. You're not just the person who hopes for overflow. You're the one who commands it. Not with ego, but with spiritual authority. You have seen lack, so now you will steward abundance differently. You have known dishonor, so now you will treat wealth as worship. You have felt invisible, so now you will walk into rooms with angelic backing. Your footsteps are guided. Your words carry weight. And your spirit is awakened. I declare over you, your wealth identity is now fully activated. No more saying, maybe this isn't for me. No more thinking. No more waiting for permission. You do not need to qualify yourself to those who cannot see your light. You do not need to prove your worth to systems that were never built to celebrate your rise. You are not here to survive cycles. You are here to break them. You are the interruption to the pattern, the first in your lineage to rise in righteousness and overflow. And you will not be the last. You are like gold refined by fire, more radiant because of the flame. You are like wings unfolding after the storm, not broken, but stronger. You are like rivers bursting through the dry ground, unexpected, undeniable, and unstoppable. This transformation you feel, it's not your imagination, is real. You are shifting out of the identity of struggle and into the mantle of supernatural abundance. And now, I, Archangel Michael, remind you of what's ahead. Doors will open not by effort, but by energy. People will honor you without explanation. Finances will flow without manipulation. Opportunities will chase you because the frequency you now carry is unmistakable. It is the frequency of someone who knows who they are. You are no longer a beggar at the gates of destiny. You are the builder of legacy. You are the carrier of a financial mantle that shifts generations. And no demon in hell, no opinion from the past, no wound from your childhood can unmake what God has now activated in you. You have been refined. Now you will reign. Type "I am financially awakened" in the comments if this word confirmed your transformation. Blessing code 2222 is now fully unlocking your wealth identity. Now, let the deepest truth be revealed. What has blocked your finances was never truly external. The enemy used outside circumstances, yes, but the real lock was buried in layers far beneath the surface. What has kept your manifestation bound was energetic and ancient. The resistance you faced wasn't just circumstantial, it was spiritual infrastructure. Strongholds built in the unseen. Vows made unconsciously. Soul contracts signed in pain. Agreements spoken in desperation. You didn't just hope for wealth, you had to unlearn the poverty written into your energetic memory. The delay wasn't laziness. It was spiritual friction. Your soul hath been at war with patterns you didn't know you inherited. And now, by the authority of heaven, I declare to you, this is the moment of revelation and release. You have been chosen to hear this because heaven knows your heart is ready. This message is not common. It is not casual. It is a key. Listen carefully. There are ancient vows still echoing in your spiritual field, vows of scarcity, made through pain, through trauma, through lifetimes or lineages that believed survival was safer than overflow. These are the words your soul must now renounce. I'll just take enough. Maybe I'm not meant to have more. Money is dangerous. We don't need wealth to be spiritual. These are not holy. They are not humble. They are harmful. They are energetic blocks disguised as spiritual wisdom. And I have been sent to reveal the trap. Heaven's economy is not based on fear. It is built on freedom. It is written in Genesis that you were given dominion over land, over seed, over systems. That includes finances. But dominion cannot flow where deception still lives. That is why your abundance was delayed, not to punish but to protect. Had your increase come before this awakening, it would have been consumed by unhealed agreements. But now, you know the truth. And with truth comes power. With truth comes release. I declare this over you now. The energetic reason you were not manifesting is being dissolved. The curse has no more power. The resistance is losing ground. The old soul contracts are now voided in the courts of heaven. And your name has been spoken in those very courts. Yes, your name. Your destiny. Your purpose. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. In the halls of heaven, preparations are being made for the unveiling of your next level. Expect divine reversals. Expect sudden promotions. Expect divine connections that write your story. You will be honored in places where you were once rejected. You will be called into rooms that used to be locked. You will be seen, not because you shouted, but because heaven whispered your name in the right ears. And they listened. This is your unlocking. I, Archangel Michael, have come not just to fight for you, but to free you. This is your spiritual unbinding. The energies that tangled your flow are now cut. The roots of lack are now uprooted, and the soil is being made ready for overflow. No more internal sabotage. No more delay. No more wondering when it will come. He is already forming. Let this be known. Your finances are no longer blocked. They are blessed. Your energy is no longer stagnant. It is rising. Your spirit is no longer confused. It is aligned. You have stepped into prophetic clarity, and everything that comes next will move with divine momentum. Type "I break every soul VOW" in the comments if you feel this release in your spirit. Blessing code 3131 is initiating your spiritual unlocking. If you feel the release right now, if something in you is rising, then you are witnessing prophecy in real time. You've just stepped into divine revelation, and when you support this movement, you help someone else step into theirs. This is more than a video. This is a spiritual awakening for the chosen. And your giving is not a donation. It is a declaration. A declaration that truth must keep flowing, light must keep breaking, and voices like yours must be heard through this platform. God said in Malachi, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and see if I will not open the windows of heaven." That is not poetry. That is promise. And if your spirit is stirred to support the pouring out of these messages, you can do so through super thanks, membership, or by sowing directly through PayPal in the video description. The seed you release may be the very key that unlocks someone else's deliverance. So move in faith. Move in alignment. So where heaven is speaking, be the reason the next revelation reaches its chosen vessel. Go now. Step into divine partnership. Now that the veil has been torn and the spiritual blocks exposed, heaven calls you into activation. This is no longer a season of passive waiting. This is not the time to sit in revelation without response. Revelation without activation leads to frustration, and you have already lived through enough cycles of delay. Now is the moment to rise, to speak, to declare, and to move in full agreement with the truth that has been revealed. Because your abundance is not waiting on God, it is waiting on you. You must activate your destiny with your words, your faith, your obedience, and your seated alignment. The atmosphere has shifted, but your participation is what opens the gate fully. Say this with authority: I release lack. I receive divine abundance. I walk in supernatural provision. Speak it aloud, not as a wish but as a decree. Because heaven responds to boldness, not to begging. The time for questioning is over. The time for activation is now. You were never meant to live in cycles of survival. You were never meant to beg for overflow. You are a child of the kingdom, and the kingdom does not manufacture scarcity. It multiplies, but it multiplies where there is movement. When you speak in alignment with heaven, when you act in rhythm with divine timing, when you walk by faith even when you don't yet see the full provision, that's when the atmosphere obeys your voice. Because faith moves faster than fear. And now, your spirit has been cleared to move again. You don't need another prophecy. You don't need another confirmation. This is your moment to respond to the word you've already received. Heaven has already spoken over you. Your name has already been written on divine contracts. Your purpose is not pending, it's active. But it is your voice that must unlock it. It is your yes that sends the signal into the spirit realm that you are no longer in waiting, you are in walking. Begin to move like someone who knows it's done. Begin to speak like someone who knows it's theirs. The identity of lack hath been severed. The energy of begging has been broken. And now, speak as one who carries the codes of wealth. Walk like the ground itself hath been assigned to honor you. Expect divine appointments. Expect favor to recognize you. Expect finances to find you. Not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. And alignment doesn't only show up in words. It manifests in action, in generosity, in obedience, in open hands. The kingdom is an ecosystem of exchange, not transaction, but transformation. And when you begin to act from the frequency of abundance, the spirit realm begins to arrange what's already been yours. You're not creating the blessing, you're activating the delivery. The portals are open, but your voice must match the vibration of your promise. Say it again. I release lack. I receive divine wealth. I step into my assignment as a financial vessel for the kingdom. Now is the time to break the old routines. Change your daily declarations. Shift how you speak over your business, your work, your money, your giving. Speak from the place of inheritance, not desperation. Heaven is not holding your wealth hostage. It is waiting for your agreement. You are no longer preparing for breakthrough. You are the embodiment of breakthrough. The drought is over. The revelation has come. The blessing has been cleared. And I'll walk in it. Type I am activated in the comments to step fully into your financial anointing. Blessing code 5566 is opening the gates of divine delivery. There is a sound in the spirit realm, subtle, yet sovereign. It is the sound of exchange. It is the movement of wealth, being returned to its rightful carrier. While you've been waiting, while you've been weeping, while you've been wondering, heaven have been working. And what your natural eyes could not see, your spirit is now prepared to perceive. The delay was never a denial. It was a divine negotiation, a sacred transaction taking place in realms beyond your comprehension. And the outcome has always been in your favor. Understand this. There is no such thing as permanent loss in the kingdom. What was stolen, what was delayed, what was mismanaged, what slipped through your hands in seasons of confusion, it is not gone forever. It is not irredeemable. In the spirit, everything operates under the law of return. Nothing is lost in God. It is held. And when the time is right, it is multiplied. I speak to you now not as a messenger of comfort, but as a witness of divine compensation. There has been a silent but mighty transaction taking place on your behalf. The wealth that was once bound is now being transferred. The doors that were once locked are now being opened with keys forged in intercession and obedience. The dreams that once looked distant are being pulled into the now, because your spirit has matured enough to carry what your heart has longed for. And while you've been asking, why do I feel unsettled? The answer is this. Your soul has already sensed the movement. Your body may be standing still, but your spirit has stepped forward. That restlessness you felt wasn't confusion. It was confirmation. You're not being shaken apart. You're being shaken free from the last remnants of the old season. There is movement in the heavens. Your angels have been dispatched. The sword of justice has been drawn. I Archangel Michael, have been executing divine commands, severing cords, reclaiming territory, and retrieving what belongs to you. Do not be deceived by silence, for while the earth had been quiet, the heavens have not. What was once withheld is now being redistributed, and it will return to you with interest. While you slept, the Spirit warred. While you mourned, the Spirit recorded. While you feared, the Spirit remembered. And now, the record of your endurance, your prayers, your tears, it is being honored. This is the mystery of manifestation. It doesn't always begin with action, but with agreement. And now that you have come into full alignment, the exchange is complete. The thing you thought you lost, they are returning, but not as they were. They are coming back greater. Relationships are returning healed. Opportunities are returning purified. Money is returning multiplied. The spirit realm has already shifted, and now the physical will begin to reflect what has already been written. Let me make this clear. You are not chasing what's yours. What's yours is locating you. This is no longer about seeking. This is about receiving. And that is why stillness was required, because only a quiet spirit can fully receive what hath been prepared without distortion or delay. Now make this your declaration. While I sleep, heaven restores. While I rest, the Spirit redeems. What was stolen is now returned. What was broken is now whole. What was missing is now multiplied. The silence was not your enemy. It was your womb. What you carry now is born not of striving but of spiritual strategy. The wealth you are about to walk in has been paid for, not with money, but with warfare, endurance, obedience, and trust. You are not walking into new blessings, you are walking into what was always yours. Type "My rest is redemption" in the comments if your soul feels this truth. Blessing code 7711 is now releasing heaven's return upon your life. Now we enter the realm of justice, divine justice. And I declare this with the fire of heaven in my voice. Every trap set for your finances will return to the sender tenfold. Every scheme formed in secret to bind your increase, every word released in jealousy to slow your momentum, every spiritual web spun to tangle your progress, it is being reversed now. The courtroom of heaven has ruled in your favor. The gavel has fallen. The scales have been balanced, and the verdict is divine compensation. You were never overlooked. You were being watched, weighed, and prepared. While others mocked your lack, heaven measured your endurance. While you remained faithful with little, the Spirit recorded your stewardship. And now the Judge of all the earth, righteous and unwavering, has declared, restore. Restore the time. Restore the energy. Restore the opportunities. Restore the provision. Restore the honor. The delay was a setup for a reversal so public, so precise, so personal that even your enemies will have to confess, the Lord has done this. Let this echo in your spirit. You are not being elevated just to recover. You are being elevated to rule. This is not survival. This is dominion. The position you are about to step into was reserved for you long ago. Others may have tried to occupy it. Some may have tried to steal it. But heaven marked it with your name. The resources that were diverted, the ideas that were stolen, the moments that were sabotaged, they are being gathered and routed to you. I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to oversee the reversal. No counterfeit shall prosper. No fraud shall succeed. No deception shall delay what is rightfully yours. Those who benefited from your silence will now watch as your voice rises. Those who profited from your brokenness will now see you whole, radiant, and resourced. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual justice. Divine reversal means the things that crushed you will now elevate you. The tears you sowed in quiet places are now about to water a harvest that breaks every generational pattern. You will be the first, and not the last, in your bloodline to overflow, to build, to give, to live from divine supply. The curse ends with you. The lack ends with you. The story changes through you. The Spirit of God is not just restoring money. He is restoring movement. The flow returns. The yes returns. The fire returns. The momentum returns. The financial rivers that were once dammed up are breaking open. Watch how quickly things shift. Watch how subtly the honor comes. Watch how divine appointments, partnerships, and opportunities appear, not from effort, but from alignment. The divine reversal will not be private. God is going to bless you in the presence of those who thought it was over for you. Not to humiliate them, but to vindicate His word over you. You will not need to explain how it happened. You will simply carry the evidence. Favor will speak where your voice no longer needs to. Now declare this aloud. Heaven has ruled in my favor. The enemy must repay. I receive divine justice. I step into divine reversal. What I lost, I now reclaim with interest. Let every principality hear it. Let every demonic strategy collapse. You are not walking into blessing by accident. You are arriving at a promise that could not be denied any longer. Type the verdict is restoration in the comments if this truth has shaken your spirit. Blessing code 8844 is enforcing divine justice over your finances. Now let the final word be spoken, not by man, not by fear, not by delay, but by the Spirit of the living God. The money block that once followed you like a shadow, that once whispered lies in your ear, that once caused you to doubt your calling and question your value, it has been identified, confronted, and cleared. This was never about just money. This was about the flow of your divine identity. And now, that identity is fully restored. The resistance has been broken. The sabotage hath been revealed. The spiritual contracts of limitation have been torn. What was once hidden has now been brought to light. And by the authority of heaven, I declare this over you. You will never return to that cycle again. You will never beg from wells that are dry. You will never lower your frequency to fit into spaces not designed for your destiny. The delay is over. The drought has ended. And your storehouse is about to overflow. Let this blessing seal your next season. May your hands never lack. May your name be spoken in rooms you've never entered. May your seed multiply and your harvest come quickly. May your rest bring revelation, and your silence release strategy. May you move forward with unshakable confidence, knowing that heaven has gone before you. You are sealed. You are seen. You are supplied. And nothing shall block what God has now made clear. You are not the same person who began this journey. Your eyes are open. Your heart is strengthened. Your spirit is aligned. And your assignment is reactivated. This is not the end. This is your commissioning. Rise, child of light. Rise, carrier of abundance. Rise, builder of legacy. You have been equipped, anointed, and appointed for wealth that glorifies the King. Walk in it boldly. Declare one final time, I am sealed. I am seen. I am supplied. I am unstoppable in my divine flow. What was once impossible is now inevitable. Type my flow is restored in the comments if this message has confirmed your divine shift. Blessing code 1001 is sealing your activation in heaven's records. If this word ignited something deep within you, if you felt chains fall, if you saw yourself differently, if you know this message was sent straight from heaven for you, then consider stepping into divine partnership with this movement. What you've just received is not information, it is impartation. And when you give to this prophetic flow, you don't just support content, you sow into the deliverance of others still trapped in spiritual bondage. God said, give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's not a suggestion. That's a spiritual law. When you honor revelation with action, the windows of heaven respond. If you feel the Spirit leading you, give through super thanks. Become a member, or sow a seed directly through PayPal in the video description. You've been activated. Now help activate others. This mission is bigger than a message. It's a movement. Be part of what God is doing. Yim boldly. Sow prophetically. Watch heaven respond.